Okay. Welcome to everyone. My name is Rujul. I work with Frappe's marketing team. I am joined by my colleague Athul, who is the author and maintainer of the Frappe Cloud Hybrid feature. He'll be walking us through the feature later on during the webinar. We want it to be an interactive session, so all questions and any feedback is always welcome. You can drop all of them in the chat box and we'll get to all of them eventually. We'll get to the questions towards the end of the presentation. The presentation itself will be for about 20 minutes or so, and then we'll take up all your questions. Okay, over to you, Atul.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon from India. Like if you are in some other part of the world, like good day to you. So my name is Athul. So we'll be talking about walking through and talking about the hybrid cloud feature of Frappe Cloud. So I'll just give one more introduction about myself. My name is Athul. I work as a platform engineer in the Frappe Cloud team, and I maintain and I wrote the hybrid cloud feature. So yeah, that's mostly it. I'll just start the slides here. So yeah, moving on. So one thing I want to say to you all is Frappe Cloud loves servers. So Frappe Cloud, we have around like 200 plus servers running our own servers, and like using the server feature and running more than 6,000 sites per day. And we have a lot of we went through a lot to figuring out how to optimize the servers perfect for each Frappe Cloud site and every other setup. So, and if you have been manually doing this, you might know that it's hard to manually set. It's not easy to set up manual servers one every day or once in once every week or twice every week. So what if I tell you, so if you could bring your own server to Frappe Cloud, that's mostly what hybrid cloud is about. So it's like using your own infrastructure to host the Frappe apps by using Frappe Cloud itself. Like you don't have to use our AWS accounts or come to Frappe for the new servers or dedicated servers, etc. But you could bring your own servers to Frappe Cloud. If you have a big server lying around, and if you have clients who want to use that server, then just bring that server to Frappe Cloud. We'll set it up for you. You can use that server for hosting your sites, creating your sites, public private benches, upgrades, marketplace apps, anything as you want. So that is what hybrid cloud is. That is like, you can say in small in a better term, like it's just bring your own device to Frappe Cloud. So yeah, moving on. So how is this beneficial? So let's say you don't have to do no more manual DevOps. So I used to handle the self-hosted setups here in Frappe. So it was purely manual. Like every day you have to, some issue might arise, you have to log into their system, do everything as is, like do some weird thing, some weird hacks and all those things. And version upgrades were tedious. If the version upgrade fails you, then you have to roll back some way. You have to do a whole restore of the site, all those things. So now you don't have to do any more of that. With Frappe Cloud Hybrid, you can have like zero manual DevOps efforts. You can just use Frappe Cloud UI to do everything that you do with other Frappe Cloud sites itself, and just the same way. But this time it will be running on your own infrastructure, like on your own servers and all. So yeah, the only main difference with Frappe Cloud servers and the hybrid cloud servers is that all of these are single server. The hybrid cloud servers are single server setups. So in Frappe Cloud servers, the servers are you are paying for two servers, one app server and one DB server. So Frappe Cloud differentiates this and runs the DB server separately with the app server. But in hybrid cloud, you are running the same self-hosted server setups on the same server. The app and DB will be on the same server and all those things. So yeah, I'll just show you an architecture diagram of it. So this is the simplified architecture diagram. So you will have our orchestrator agent running on each of the new hybrid cloud servers, and each bench will be a new Docker container. So Docker containers give us more flexibility to build images on demand. Like if you have a multiple custom apps, you can just create a new. We'll just put it in. We'll just create a new Docker container for all of this, and these Docker containers will be connected to MariaDB, and there will be we have installed exporters like for monitoring purpose, and all these monitoring exporters will fetch enough data from these Docker containers and from MariaDB and will give us an idea of if about the server's health and all those things. So yeah, and it's the usual. You can see the legend in the bottom left, like agent request, database request, site request, and exporter request. These are also available on the Frappe Cloud Hybrid docs. So we'll go to that in the next coming slide. So yeah, this is most of what each the architecture is, what each server's architecture is going to be. Like if there are 3 benches, then there will be 3 Docker containers, and these benches will have multiple sites, like as much site as your server can hold. So yeah, then MariaDB too. So yeah, that's mostly it. So we'll be going to a demo. So I'll be for the demo part. Till now, does anyone have any questions till now? Maybe put that in the chat or something. Put that in the chat. Maybe we can maybe discuss it, or we can push that to later parts if that question is regarding the something other than the current setup, like architecture or any other things like that. We can discuss about that later. But till now, regarding the whole idea of the hybrid cloud, does anyone have any questions? If not, we can move forward. Like, yeah, seems like
nothing in the chat at the moment.
Yeah, cool. All right. So if there is any question, we'll be discussing that in the later ones. So we can do a demo for this. So you can just go to Frappe Cloud /doc/hybrid/new, and you can see the whole demo of the site. So I'll be share. Yeah, let me share. You can see the whole screen, right? Just give me a moment.
Yes, visible.
Yeah. Like the other tab too. This tab, are you able to?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, you are able to. Sure. Cool. All right then. So we'll be going to this docs page, and we'll start everything from scratch there. Like you can see, there are a few prerequisites for the docs, like what it should be, like what the server should be. The server must have a public IP and a private IP, and the server must point to a subdomain. That's one thing to take care about. You have to have a subdomain. You have to have the server pointed to a subdomain of your domain. That way we can figure out, create TLS certificates on the fly and all those things. And you have to run the server must be running Ubuntu 20. There should be no other, this is like a hard limit. This is kind of strict. So you have to have a single user, or if you have multiple users, it's fine. Just change the UID and GID of that extra user to something other than 1000. So I have added maybe in the future we can just figure out some other ways to make the even setup smoother, but for the time being this is done. So first we need to create a new server. So we have a DigitalOcean setup here. So I'll just start on to create a new droplet. So I'll just show the demo from end to end so that you can have an idea of the whole thing. So I'm just selecting Bangalore and Ubuntu 20.4 LTS, and like a regular SSD. So the thing is, it's better to have at least 2 GBs of RAM and a single CPU. It's fine, but I mean this is for like webinar purpose. I'm just taking a lower spec system. You can use any other provider. Okay, the whole divided hybrid cloud setup is provider agnostic. You can select AWS, you can select Azure, you can select any other provider, like anyone you want to use. So I just select the $12 plan for 2 GB, minimum 2 GB of RAM is required. At least 4 GB is like best for running 1 or 2 sites. 2 GB maximum you can do is one site for the system with MariaDB too. So that's like a pretty small site you can run with 2 GB. So I'm just adding my private key and one more private key of Frappe.cloud. So yeah, I'll show you the why I need to add the Frappe.cloud this one. So I'm just naming it to webinar. And that's it. That's mostly it. So yeah, I'm just going to create a new droplet. Once a droplet is created, I'll just we had to wait some time till the droplet is created. So yeah, yeah. So now we have a IPv4 address and an IPv6 address, like a public and private IP. The first thing that we are going to do is we are going to create a new subdomain for that. So I'll just create one for webinar.self.frappe.dev, add an error code to that, add an error code to this domain, which points to 64.227.154.164. That's like the new private IP. That's the IPv4 address of the new server that we just created. So I'm just going to copy once more. I'm just going to create a new record. Create a new record. Webinar.self.frappe.dev. So I mean, we can just do a simple dig command here, dig webinar.self.frappe.dev to check if that resolves to the new IP. So you can see that it resolves to the new 64.227.154.164 IP. So that's set. Now what we are going to do is, the first step of this is like we are going to go to the servers tab, and I won't be following this anymore. I'll just show this currently for the time being. So we'll be going to a servers tab, and we'll just go ahead and create all the things that's required. Okay. So yeah, so I'm just clicking the new. You are able to see my screen, right? Like just verifying again.
Yes, yes.
So self-hosted server. So currently you have to give the name for a self-hosted server and the domain for a self-hosted server. So that's going to be like so webinar demo. That's going to be the self-hosted server's name. This is kind of similar to the server naming, and the domain would be webinar.self.frappe.dev. So we'll just click next, and we'll just select the plan for the time being. And we need the public IP and the private IP of the servers. We already have the public IP. We'll just go get the private IP too. The private IP is required for the MariaDB to connect to the server rather than using the public IP to connect to the using TLS. It's better to have the private IP to connect to TLS. So after that, we will verify the domain if it points to the public IP of the server. Since we already verified it via dig, we can be sure that it will just get resolved to the 64 IP itself. So when we click next, we'll be taken to this page for adding the SSH key to this server. So this is like we need to add you can click copy to copy the key here, and we'll be going to add this in the new server, add this in the server that we created. So we just have to go here, and we'll so SSH to root at 64.227.16. I'm just showing this as for visualization purposes. So you can Hussein, is there any question in between? Okay. So let's just continue for the time being. So root and webinar. So in here we are requested to add this key to the authorized keys server file in the server that you are adding. So we'll just copy this one, and we can just, since I already added the Frappe Cloud's SSH key during the creation, I won't be adding it again. So I'll just show you the authorized keys here. You can see that the second key is already added, that Frappe Cloud. This key is already been added to the server. So we won't be adding it again. But but anyway, since it's already there, we'll just go ahead and verify the server. So verify
Atul,
once we click. Sure.
If you intend to show your terminal screen, it's not visible.
Sorry.
You can
I just I'm sorry for that. So it's just like I mean, there is not much in the terminal. And just we are just adding the SSH key, but since it's already there, we won't be adding. Maybe I'll just it's pretty hard to share the screen again. That's why I'm just let me check. Yeah, are you able to see the terminal now? Yeah. So what I did some time ago is I checked the SSH if there are any authorized keys in the file. So this is the path to the cat SSH authorized keys file. You can see that there is a second key that is already present. That is already generated. That's the one that's here. So you can in the terminal you will be able to see the same key here. So that means that we can the SSH is accessible. So since we've done the verify command, it already verified by sending a ping to the SSH server. And it actually did one more thing. We actually will set up Nginx initially for SSL verification. So this is for generating the TLS certificates and all those things. So once that is done, we can just go ahead and set up the server. So setup server will take some time. It will take a few, mostly around 15 minutes for completing the whole setup. So this will actually generate a TLS certificate initially, and we'll go ahead to set up the start and stop the set up the servers. So I won't be showing all those things to you. So I already have another server that's already been set up today, like half an hour ago before the webinar. So you can see that in the place section, you can see that there is one ping server request that's been verification request and the Nginx request. After that, we set up the MariaDB database, and after that, we set up the the whole system setup, like everything, all the patches, all the security patches, all the things that's required for running Frappe Cloud. And you can also, this is one of the main points of Frappe Cloud as like features of Frappe Cloud. You can get direct server monitoring from the dashboard itself. So you can just get how much of the CPU is idle and what's the load average, that the disk space that's being used, the memory, complete total memory usage, and the disk IO. Like this is just for this is the IOPS ones. So you can get an idea of how much the system is being, how much the disk is being written on and read from, all those things. So moving on, we have to, since the server is already set up, we can just go ahead and create the new benches and new sites on the server. So we can just go ahead with that. We can just create a new bench here, create a new bench. And we can also, one thing to note that is that the region will be always Mumbai. So whenever you create a new self-hosted server, the region will always be in Mumbai, all right? So we are going to choose a name for the bench. So webinar bench, then just going to, be tasks. So just going to install Frappe framework only. Maybe we'll use a nightly branch. So we'll just use Frappe framework for the time being, and you can add all the everything else. You can you can add your custom apps. You can add your other any marketplace apps and all those things here. And I'll just go ahead and for the time being, I'm just creating Frappe framework, just adding Frappe framework as the only app. So I'm just going to create a new bench. So, and you can see that the version is here. Then I'm going to deploy the app. So yeah, it's going to take some time. So it's running. Now we'll just create a new, Frappe framework. It will create a new Docker container, Docker image for everything to run on. And it might take some time. Usually it takes just just maximum of a minute to generate the whole new whole app and create an app and upload it to Docker. And set up. It will also create a new bench in the server. So yeah. Yeah, so we'll have to wait a few minutes here for the bench to be created. And so yeah, see that it's running. So installing Frappe, this will download Frappe, set up everything required. And there is a possibility that since we use nightly, there is a possibility that this might, should have thought about this, but it's yeah. Let's see if anything is breaking on nightly branch. Yeah, this failed in a way. So I'm just going to update the dependencies once. Sorry for this. Just updated. I'm just updating node here. 3.11. So this might have failed. So this deployment possibly have failed. I just updated the updated the node version required for nightly. We are going to deploy it for the. So this is actually a upcoming feature. So we'll be putting hard limits on not hard limits like hard coding the node version and all those things in the coming nightly updates. So sorry that you have to see a failure in the demo itself. Like this is not intended, but yeah. We're just going to run all the things again. So this might take a few more minutes. So once the bench is complete, we will go ahead and create a new site and create a new uh, the rest of the we'll be able to access the site and all those things. So yeah, just give me a few moments so that we can just. So yeah, this will install Redis. This is the usual deploy process for you know uh, for Frappe itself. Yeah, I mean, we have to do this again. Sorry for that because you know the whole there was an update going on in the background, so that might have stopped this. So I'm just going to update it. Just give me a moment. Yes, this is installing Python and all those things. So uh, yeah, I'm sorry. This is taking a lot of time than intended. I'm really sorry. This deploys usually take lesser time, but not sure what happened. Maybe it was due to an upgrade happening in the background. But so yeah, let's just yeah. There are a few questions that Ashish has raised, and yeah, maybe I'll try to answer the questions at this moment itself. Hope that's fine, Rachel, right? Yeah. So Frappe Cloud footprint with a single bench on a server would consume how much RAM/hard disk? So that's a good. Okay. So most possibly we aren't running. We don't use that much RAM. Like Frappe Cloud doesn't usually use that much RAM. The main usages of RAM would be by MariaDB and the background workers. So you can mostly the like 10% of the CPU and RAM would be only used by Frappe. There is no specific thing that Frappe Cloud run. Like agent doesn't even take up like 100 MBs of RAM. So uh, like mostly 10%. Like I'm giving a maximum of 10% will be used by Frappe Cloud itself. Like I'm just factoring out other things too. So including exporters and all those things. So yeah, maximum 10%. How for my sites can I put plans? So the for all new sites that's going to be created, we'll just put it in the unlimited plan for the time for unlimited plan, because you are anyway paying for the server. You are so it's only okay. It's only saying to put the put the site plans under unlimited section. So yeah. The hybrid. I'll talk about the pricing part of hybrid after the demo, so that we can have a yeah. So that's the current state of hybrid right now for the sites. Unlimited plan for all sites, and single bench maximum 10% would be only used. Cap the sites as in, yeah, we'll come to that in the latter end of this webinar. So that currently this so we are just again installing Frappe framework. We're just at the tail end of this bench setup. So once bench build is done, we can just go ahead and create the new site. Yeah, almost done. So the last step is just pending, like creating a deploy. So once when the deploy is being created, it will create a new bench in the server itself. So maybe I could just log in and show you this. So also on that sense, like whenever we create the hybrid server, hybrid setup, a new user called Frappe will be created, and this user will have like a folder for agent and a folder for benches, where the benches folder will be used for creating the whole benches, like updating new benches, adding new benches, and all those things. So yeah, and all these benches will be Docker. So if I just type in Docker PS, you will see like no currently no Docker container is being run. So yeah, uh, just waiting for the Docker image to be pushed. Once that is done, this will create a new bench, which is like, yeah, deploys. Yeah. So once the deploy is done, we can see that a new bench is being created. So a bench is being installed in the server. So you can see that the bench is installing. So like, yeah, CD benches and CD bench. You can see that a new bench is being installed. So this will take a few seconds. Installing. So all these things are, FC itself. Like we are just creating a new server in the FC dashboard and just adding, multiple benches and adding the sites and benches to that server. So that's it. Yeah. Once the installing is done, we can just go ahead and create a new site. Just waiting for. We're just waiting it to complete. So yeah, sorry for the delay again. Like this is not, sometimes this can happen, like when you're doing a live demo, it's a prone to happen, I guess. You can see the agent job. Yeah, you can see the agent job here, initialize learning and all those things. It's still running the initialize bench part. So we just have to wait a bit, few minutes more. Like so, yeah. I mean, the rest of the things is pretty similar. Once you create a new bench, and I'm pretty sure, like, I'm not sure why this is taking this much time. Yeah, this is around the last step now. Yeah, currently the bench is set up successfully. So once you created the bench, you can always go to create a new site. We are just going to webinar hybrid.frappe cloud, and you can just create the and that's the usual. Then the rest of the things is the usual flow. The only thing that is kind of not what do you say, like not exactly straightforward is the uh, is this one. I mean, the server setups. Everything else other than that is like straightforward FC steps, like create a new site, create a new server, all those things. So yeah, just checking one thing. Yeah. So we're just waiting for the site to complete. So new site will create new database, migrate. It will do the migration and all those things. Yeah, yeah, that's mostly it. So once the site is up and running, we can just go ahead and log into the site and all those things. So yeah, I mean that's mostly it. So coming back to the slides. So yeah. So I just want to recap on the recap and add some more context to that questions. So we'll be having unlimited private benches, unlimited sites on these servers, unlimited sites on these private benches. And I put an asterisk there because the number of sites your server can handle depends on the hardware of the server provider. So if you are having a big machine, then it could easily handle them. So easily handles the number, like, and the number of sites in the 50s range, 60s range easily, like pretty easily. But since the database is also on the same server, you'll have to think about half of that. So that way you will have enough data for the whole day, enough RAM for the database server to handle it. And yeah, everything else other than this will be SSH and DB access will be there. Even if you want to do SSH there, it's your server. You can just SSH straightforward and SSH it, access the DB. Why, and you can access the DB via Docker only. So anyways, that too. You'll have offsite backups, and you will have a monitoring dashboard as I shown you in the Frappe Cloud dashboard itself for the server. And if there are any other FC features that I've missed, those all will be there. So yeah, that's currently the recap of it, and it's mostly like your server, your data. We want to follow that ideology. Since you are providing the server, you have every right to access the data, and we won't be hindering you in any ways. So yeah, that's it. That's mostly the whole gist of the webinar. So now we'll be taking questions. So, and we'll just look on the site created, and it's still taking time. So I mean, new sites creation can take quite time. So let it be. So yeah, that's it. Like if you have any questions, like feel free to ask me. Yeah. Yeah, sure. So yeah, that's mostly it. Like we'll be taking on questions. Rachel, maybe you will, firstly, we'll encourage you to ask more questions so that I could get back to you, get back to you on in better detail. So yeah, that's
Let's read out the questions.
yeah. Mhm. So yeah, also Ashish, following up on Ashish's question, offsite backups will be on Frappe Cloud Infra. You won't have to pay anything for it. It's bundled with the server itself, so you don't have to pay for the offsite backups. Yeah. Yeah.
Felix asks, I joined late. Will the recording be available? Yes, the recording will be sent to all participants, not an issue. Accent or LLC asks, why only Ubuntu 20 and not 22.04?
LTS. So currently Frappe Cloud completely runs on Ubuntu 20. So we didn't get time to test for Ubuntu 22. There might be some changes required, but that's it. We'll in moving forward, we'll be supporting Ubuntu 22 too. But for the time being, we'll just be supporting Ubuntu 20 because our current scripts just it's best fit for Ubuntu 20. That's right. Yeah.
Can we enable developer mode on that?
No, actually, we won't be like it's currently we won't be able to. You won't be able to enable developer mode. We are working on a feature to enable developer mode on all current on servers itself. So you can check out for that in the coming few months. So yeah, that's it.
Can we enable
Yeah,
to DB?
you won't have to create a ticket moving forward. We'll be adding a feature in the UI itself to enable DB write access. But we still strongly suggest against DB write access. You can use the Frappe the bench console to do that. That way it's better, and you can always roll back if did something wrong or wasn't intentional. So that way, yeah. You won't have to raise a support ticket in the coming few weeks. We'll release the UI feature itself. So yeah. So offsite backups, I've already answered that question. Yeah.
Is the hybrid feature enabled by default now, or will you need to request access?
So the hybrid feature, the webinar is intended to be like what you are going to get. So we'll be enabling that for partners in the coming few weeks. Once the few weeks, and you won't have to it's best to raise a request access, but so that we can keep track of the of the users who have enabled who have servers hybrid cloud features enabled. So yeah, it's better to send a access request in the support portal. So yeah.
Devarshi asks, will the recording be uploaded to YouTube? Yes, once the webinar recording is edited, we'll upload it to YouTube and share it with all the participants. Not an issue. Then pricing models and support mechanism in it later on.
Yeah. So pricing models, we are still working on the pricing. We need to, have a best pricing for, everyone, so that everyone is feel welcome to use hybrid cloud. So we are still working on the pricing plan and support model too. So we'll be releasing that in the coming few weeks, like mostly in 2 or 3 weeks. We are still having bustling discussions on the whole pricing thing, because this is actually as an extended feature to the server's feature itself, so we need to price accordingly. So yeah, that's so pricing would be, please, we'll send you updates in the coming few weeks about the pricing itself. So yeah. Yeah.
Can you add custom apps?
Yeah, you will see custom apps. Yes, definitely. Whenever you create a private bench, you can add custom apps. You can add any apps, any Frappe app that you want. So that's not capped. You can add custom apps. You can add, anything that you are currently using in servers or in private benches. You will be able to add that. We won't be capping any of them. So, yeah.
When is it planned to be launched?
So we are planning to launch in the, once the pricing is fixed, we'll be launching it swiftly, like in the next the week after pricing is being launched, or yeah, that's possibly by mid-July. Yeah, possibly by mid-July we'll be launching this. Yes. So yeah.
What is the main purpose of hybrid cloud? Who do you think will be the main user of this feature?
So hybrid cloud is mainly intended for, people who have compliance issues of hosting of having their data on their server itself, like compliance. So enterprise customers, initially enterprise customers is our main target audience, but any customer who has their own server and wants to use set up ERP Next on that server without buying another plan from Frappe Cloud itself, is our expected audience. So they would be able to use Frappe hybrid cloud for hosting their ERP Next apps, Frappe apps, any other apps, all those things. And yeah, mainly it's enterprise customers, to be honest. Like, yeah. So yeah, enterprise customers and customers who have servers lying and want ERP Next, and who has compliance issues with using a different server, different data center, stuff like that. Yeah.
Are the apps need to be installed in the Frappe cloud or from the outside server? For example, the next apps or apps from the list of Frappe marketplace.
You have to install the apps from Frappe Cloud itself. So that's kind of an currently, in the current state of things, that's the only way. If you even add you can try to add the other apps in the via SSH access, but most possibly it won't work, because like the whole Docker system is immutable, and you have to add that app in the Docker. It's pretty tedious to do so. It's the current way is to do only from Frappe Cloud. Yeah. And that's the planned way itself. We don't plan to add an external marketplace or easy add apps to the server itself. So yeah, that's the yeah. If there aren't any other
I don't
questions,
see any
maybe we
new
can.
questions. We might have missed the first few questions. Is there any charges for using self-hosted nodes?
Yeah, I've already I guess I've already answered that.
Ashish's question is also answered. Can I cap the sites?
So capping the sites, I mean, when you say cap the sites, you mean like limit the number of resources like background workers? Yeah, maybe we can bring up a plan. We can introduce something to cap the sites too on self-hosted servers too. So currently we are thinking like, if the server is there, then there shouldn't be any cap for the time being. Yeah, at least for whenever we think about it, there shouldn't be any cap on the sites installed, because complete use of resources. Let the site use complete use of the resources, so that we are not paying for the server. You will be paying for the server, so it's better to have it as have it default unlimited. So yeah, maybe we could introduce a capping mechanism too, like if it's required. So yeah, if there are any other questions, please feel free to ask, else we can wind up.
Yes, I don't see any new questions. Is there any way they can reach out to you after
Yeah,
the?
definitely. Just send me an email on Athul@frappe.io if you have any questions. Like if you, yeah, I just added that email in the chat itself. So if you have any questions, just feel free to ask me, and you can always refer the docs. I mean, I know the app is going to be the feature is going to be released in the coming few months, but the docs are already there, so you can always check that too. So I'll just add the link to the docs here too. Add the email too. So yeah.
There's another question, I think.
Okay.
Will a specific module that can't be installed on Frappe Cloud be installed on the server?
I mean, module as in, can you elaborate on that? Like I'm confused about the module part. Like, are you referring to an app or something?
So sure, if you want to speak, we'll allow that. If you want to unmute and elaborate on that, please go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Susu.
So, hello. The reason why we set up our server on a private server as opposed to actually we installed it on Flappy Bench first. Okay.
Okay.
But there are some dependencies for our app. For example, we are doing a we are installing an app to for biometric, for example, to get biometric details. And the dependencies we tried multiple times, but they are not being able to install on Frappe Cloud. We have included it in the requirements list on our GitHub app. So things like that, which Frappe Cloud won't.
So let me just ask you. So, Susu, is that an app installable package or something, or is it like extra web request? Like, is
No,
it
no, it's not.
possible to?
It's not web requests. It's like
Okay. Yeah, sorry. Like web request asking you have to download the app from a link or something. That's what I meant.
no. For example, if we have to create an array, we install NumPy. So we
okay. Yeah.
some
Yeah.
things like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Got it. So that's currently Frappe Cloud supports it. Like if there are any additional app installer packages, you can just raise a support ticket, and we'll just add that in the release group, and you'll be able to deploy that. It's a feature present in Frappe Cloud right now. So, I mean, it might not have been public yet, but it's doable. So, yeah.
So no, we if we want to install on Frappe Cloud currently ours, because we have to purchase a server, because we tried installing it on Frappe Cloud, but the dependencies for it it wouldn't just install on.
Okay. Yeah, you will be able to do that in currently. So when this was a very recent feature that we pushed. So before that, we weren't able to install any other applications other than the said application. So now you'll be able to install that in the server itself. So yeah.
Okay.
It is possible. It is doable. Okay.
Yes.
Letting you know.
On the hybrid server as well, right?
Yeah. Hybrid server as well. Yes. Okay. So these dependencies are specific to the bench. So these dependencies are specific to that bench which has the app, right? Like not the extra server itself. So you'll be able to install. So since NumPy is required for that app only. You'll be installing that in a Docker file itself. So yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So I should just raise a request for that. That's what you're
yeah,
saying.
yeah, exactly. Currently, yeah,
Yeah. Thank you.
sure. Yeah, if there are any other questions, like
So I see
maybe we
another
could.
question. Is this new feature included for Frappe support? Will it be included in?
So this, we are still, once the feature is launched, like completely launched for partners and everyone, we'll update the docs for the same thing, like uh, about regarding support and all those things. So, yeah.
Okay, got it. Hina had her hand raised. If you want to speak, go ahead. Maybe not. Another question: will there any issues using hybrid cloud with Ubuntu desktop in POS scenarios?
Um, I mean, pause scenarios. I mean, are you suggesting? Are you planning to use the Google Chrome itself on the server itself to access the pause environment? Or since sites are accessible via internet, it's better to connect to that site from a different. We wouldn't suggest Ubuntu desktop for this, because it's supposed to be a server, and server running Xorg or any other packages will just reduce the whole computing capability of the system. So it's better to run via another Google Chrome. Just open this, go to the site, and and plus I may be wrong, but I'm not that not that knowledgeable regarding POS systems. So maybe yeah, you will be able to, if you are able to elaborate, I'll be happy to help. Happy to
Yeah, the idea
explain
is that
more
we
about
do setup for point of sale to use. We utilize event streaming this manner. So we do a full server setup on each point of sale device.
Okay.
So the idea is, can we utilize this to manage the server setup instead of doing the manual setup?
Yeah, you will be able to do it. You will be able to do it, since you are handling the server. You can install any apps you want, but still, I'm still would suggest against it. But yeah, whatever works for you. This that will be that is doable in the hybrid cloud setup. Yes, to answer your question. Yes.
Yeah, I don't see any more questions.
Hope that Accenture LLC, hope that answers your question. You will be able to do it, but still strongly suggesting against it, that's all. Maybe we could, if there are any other questions, you can just always email me. Like, wouldn't suggest raising a support ticket for the same thing right now, but would be great if you could email me regarding any questions, or regarding if you need more clarity on things. So yeah, I guess that's it. That's it from my side.
Sure. We can end the webinar then.
Okay, there is, yeah. Okay, I shared the email in the chat itself, so I'll just share it again. So it's Athul at frappe.io. ATHU or Athul at erpnext.com. Either works. Yeah.
Okay,
Cool.
if there are no more questions, we can end the webinar. Thank you all for participating. Thanks, Atul, for demonstrating the feature. And yes, the webinar recording will be available. We'll add it on YouTube once it is edited. Thank you all for participating. Have a nice day.
Yeah. Bye. Bye, everyone.